He is Shawn Ford, the superintendent of the Purchase Line School District, joining us this morning from the road, if you will, as we converse about the district. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus at Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Shawn, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Wonderful, and it's good to have you with us here today, enjoying this beautiful day. Shawn, I asked Michael Minnick about this, the Indiana junior high principal, last half hour, about the idea of the excitement of the beginning of a school year, and then you get a month or so into it and things sort of settle down into a routine. Are you finding that routine at Purchase Line right now?
We're getting into the routine for sure, and we are settling in. It's been interesting, students being in such a topsy-turvy schedule last year, from hybrid schedules to time off to 4 days a week to full sale. So it's taken a while to get back into that routine, but I would say slowly we're transitioning and getting there. It's nice to hear the announcements on clubs being up and running again and different events. So yes, absolutely, we're starting to get there.
Well, the rhythm of a school year is something that always interests me because you have the start of the year and all of that excitement, and things are getting organized. By now they should be organized, and so you get into some of the things, and you mentioned the clubs. That's a really important part of a school student's life, isn't it? To make sure it's not just all classroom learning. I've got geometry this hour, algebra next hour, and literature the hour after that. But to make that club life, those little extra things, a real part of their school day.
Absolutely. There's a lot of research. The more students have a connection to a club, to a sport, to the band, to whatever activity that is, the more successful they're going to be in school. And so for us, it's an extension of their school day, and it's every bit as much as part of learning as the academic world, because to me it all ties together. It's getting job ready, it's getting career ready, college ready. So it's actually an extension of what we do, and so in my opinion, it's critical. I come from a background. I was an AD for 16 years, and so I fully support all of the activities and everything that we do. So,
yeah, absolutely. Now, the teachers and the support staff, they also have to settle into their routine, and I'm interested as well in the incorporation of new teachers, new members of the staff into that school community. Do you have sort of a mentor-teacher program so that especially the younger, new teachers sort of get an idea of what it is on a day-to-day basis, what life is like at PL?
Yes, we have an induction program, which every district in the Commonwealth has, and as part of that induction program, we have mentor teachers for each of our new teachers. We even put a mentor, even like when we have a long-term sub, if they're in for an extended period of time, we try to put a mentor in there. And so, yes, absolutely, we have that.
So what is it like for a new teacher, say, at Purchase Line? Put them in a specific classroom. Say a gym teacher comes in and they're assimilating what they've learned in university or by teaching at another school district, and they come into the Purchase Line School District. Is what you do there a whole lot different than what other school districts do, or is it pretty standard?
I think everybody has their own twist on that. So everybody does it. Everybody has the same framework, I guess I would say, Todd. And then the particulars of that framework is unique to each district. But the overall arching framework is the same. You want to get people acclimated to your policies and your procedures and how we go about doing that. So, like, our new teachers will meet with all of the directors, and they'll meet with the busing company, and they meet with me, and they have individual meetings, and so I think that's pretty standard across the state. But like I said, there'll be particulars at each district that are unique. Yeah.
All right. So let's, as I said to Mr. Minnick in the last hour, let's get into the hallways, find out what's going on within life at Purchase Line, and let's start in the elementary school. I know that there are always this exciting action going on in the school district, keeping the kids engaged, and in a lot of cases introducing students to what it is to be a school student. Are there exciting activities planned for the next month or so for Purchase Line in the elementary levels?
Yes, I mean pretty much every week, whether it be in the classroom itself or from school related activities. This month, of course, we have the decorations and Halloween and that, and we have a parade. I'm not sure how the parade will play out. We're still dealing with some COVID. We still have to look at our health and safety plan naturally, but so we have different activities occurring. Then we get into the Thanksgiving theme. So it's a lot of theme stuff. I still believe in a lot of that theme, and then you get into your holiday season. So that's the unique thing about the fall. You kind of roll right into 3 different holidays before we have break. And so that's what happens. Let alone we have, you have your concerts in December and different things. So there's always a lot going on. Let alone some of the programming we've got started down there as far with the STEAM and the technology. So a lot going on for sure.
That's interesting. You mentioned the STEAM and the technology programs. So people might not think that is something that elementary students would be all that interested in, but they're more than just interested, isn't it? Aren't they?
That's what they know. I mean, they're not like myself, who didn't grow up with technology. I grew up on a typewriter. I remember taking typing class in high school, and we had one of the first computers, the big Apple computer that took up the whole back of the room. And I remember typing the old DOS system. Now these kids come in kindergarten, and they've been on a device since they're born, whether it be an iPad or whether it be mom and dad's phone or whatever it might be, playing games. And so they're natives. I mean, they know this stuff like the back of their hand. It's crazy what they know.
I bet you could beat them in Pong, though, couldn't you?
Probably, yes, I could.
And they would not understand that at all.
No, they'd be looking at me like, boy, you're really old.
At the high school level, of course, STEAM is always a topic of great interest. At Purchase Line, I'm sure that you have some pretty innovative programs. We talked to other school districts, and they're involved in it. Purchase Line, do you have specific programs having to do with STEAM technology, the introduction of it or the use of it?
Yeah, we actually have classes. We actually have a STEAM teacher, and we have classes. And the one thing we're planning this year, Todd, is we're working with a consultant this whole year on designing pathways and looking at career pathways, college pathways for students with no dead ends. And so we're spending this whole year looking at that in anticipation of unveiling that for next school year to begin that process. And so we're going to have a lot more here in the future. But no, we have a pretty robust STEAM. We've got the robotics team that did really well last year in the Heritage. And so we're always moving the envelope. We have the computer science to the robotics to our STEAM rooms. So it's pretty robust, but it's going to get a lot more robust.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me. And again, we have this conversation with other school districts as well. The traditional subjects that you and I grew up with, it's not that they aren't very, very important, but just the added importance of the STEAM technologies and the idea that our district can't fall behind other districts in preparing students for life and for post-education. If you're sending your kids off and they're already at a deficit with other kids that are entering university life, then you're not doing the service to them that you should.
No, I mean, science, technology, engineering, it really is the future. When we're involved with some of the Learning 2025 movement, and you look at even artificial intelligence, and you look at some of that, we have to expose our kids to the coming technology, from robotic arms to it's present. I mean, you go into a factory now. I've been into 2 factories where it's all robots, and you have rooms where people are sitting up controlling the robots on a computer. You have just as many employees, but those employees now are all engineers. They're no longer on a shift line, and that's what we have to prepare our students for.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that the preparation for working at a particular facility today compared to 10 years ago, let alone 20 or 25 years ago, it's entirely different. You're getting them ready for a whole different kind of job.
And even, I always say, even for those jobs that you'll still need to do manual. You still need to know science. You still need to know math skills. You still have to have the reading skills. Because there's always going to be a need for electricians or plumbers or whatever that might be. But even those, you still need those same STEM skills. And so, it truly is truly important that we prepare students for that.
Yeah, and those kids that are going to take up those particular fields, electrician, plumbing, welding, all of these different things, whether it's at ICTC or within their own home school district, they're going to find that their jobs are very, very much in demand because there are fewer people working those types of jobs. So really, when you think about a career choice, there's just not a bad choice out there if it's something that you're passionate about.
No, I mean, I don't, I'm a consumer. And one of the I've been trying to get an electrician to come over to our house to do some work, and it's hard to find people. And so I tell all of our students, if you're willing to put the time in, you're willing to put the work and have a good work ethic to you, which is another skill that we have to teach are the skills of work ethic and how to deal with people. You're going to be able to make a very good living.
Yeah,
so, absolutely.
Those soft skills, I know Mark Hilliard in the Chamber of Commerce, they've been working on that with schools all across Indiana County. That is really, really important. And things like showing up on time are kind of important, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's absolutely critical. And that boils right back to what we call our portrait of a red dragon, and it includes all of those skills.
Yeah.
These all tie together. The academic skills, soft skills, career and college ready skills, it's all one. And that's what we're trying to transition to in Purchase Line.
Absolutely. All right, Shawn, thanks so much for being with us. If you need to get that electrical work done, I recommend you just do it yourself and make sure you don't pull the breaker. Just go ahead and try it.
I've tried that one time and it didn't end well. So I went off a ladder and decided from now on I need to hire that. So
that's a pretty good plan. Shawn Ford, thanks so much for being with us today.
Have a good day, Todd.
You too. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. AM 1160.